Jumping right into number 2, we have the beautiful city of Paris here, scoped out on a map. And it has this road that goes around it, which I highlighted a little bit better on your picture. And we're trying to find out the circumference of it. So we're going to estimate it as a circle, find out what its diameter is. I have a tool of a ruler, which is helpful here. I'm going to use the centimeter ruler. And I'm just going to kind of measure how long my scale part here is. It looks like my scale is maybe like half of a centimeter, maybe a little longer. I would say probably about from 1 to 1.6. So about 0.6 is the length of a mile for me. So I want to make a little table for that. Let's go here and make a table for that. So 0.6 centimeters is equal to 1 mile according to the scale that I measured down here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to measure how far across it is, the diameter of this road, which is roughly from about here to here. If we measure that diameter, we should be able to get an idea of how big the circle is. So let me go back to my ruler. Sorry, shouldn't have closed it. And I'm going to measure across. I'm going to start on the 6 there, and it ends at 10.5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.5. About 4.5 centimeters across that I measure. So 4.5, 0.5 is to how many miles? Well, if 1 mile is 0.6, then all we have to do is find the constant and multiply. So we can find the constant by doing a little bit of division. So we're going to do 1 divided by 0.6, which gives us 1.6 repeating. We multiply our constant by 4.5, and we'll know how long we're talking about here across. It's about 7.5 miles. Okay, I think I've had some people estimate it as 8 or 7, but I'm going to go with 7.5 for this example because I feel like I was pretty close to my measurement. Okay, so 7.5 is my diameter all the way across, 7.5 miles across the city of Paris. And we want the circumference, so all we have to do there is multiply that by pi, and we'll have part A. So part A, 7.5 is already on my screen, so I'm going to multiply it by pi. It does say estimate, so I guess I could just multiply that by 3. I'm going to say about 24 miles around. Alright, so that's an about for me, but I'm going to say about 24 miles. If you are somewhere between 20 and 25, you're probably going to be okay there. Okay, let's talk about the area of it though real quick. Okay, so Dr. Rico and squaring and finding area, we know the diameter is 7.5, so the radius would be half of that. So we got to take the 7.5 and cut it in 2, because radius is half the diameter, so that's 3.75. So if we take the radius, which goes like halfway across the city, right, it's 3.75. If we square it and make a square out of it, we multiply it by itself, 3.75 times 3.75. The area of that square is not the full area of the city. This is going to be about 14. I'm going to round it to about 14. It says estimate, so I can round here. So the area of this is 14, but we found out that it takes 3.14 of those squares to fill up the whole circle. So we need to multiply 14 times pi. So I'm going to do that, times 3.14. And we're going to get a pretty good estimate of about 44 square miles. Roughly 44 square miles. And that's our answer for number 2.